more scriptures in the New Testament to show that the Sabbath was kept. Jesus did not change it. And I'll just jump way ahead here. This is what Paul is saying in Hebrews 4. I'm going to just try and wrap this up. In Hebrews 4, Paul is speaking on the Sabbath, and to everyone that questioned which day is the Sabbath day, got to be careful, because we could be worshiping man if we do not worship God and sanctify this day holy. Any other day that is sanctified and made holy is made and was made by man. Do your simple research on it. Very simple research. And you'll find out who's sanctified and which day is sanctified by man. Paul is speaking here. For he spake, verse 4, in a certain place on the seventh day on this wise. And God did rest the seventh day from all his works. We know where he's quoting from. Obviously Genesis. Right? And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest, seeing therefore it remain that some may enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not because of unbelief. And this kind of taking us in a different path, but I want to read down the verses. Okay? Again he limit a certain day, saying to David, today, after so long a time, as it is said today, if you will hear my voice, harden not your heart. This is always an appeal when messages like these are brought, that men open their hearts to the Lord, that men understand and seek God's way. For if Jesus had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day? If Jesus had given rest, if Jesus had given a separate day as the Sabbath, as a holy day, wouldn't he have mentioned it? After all, Jesus talked about eating his flesh and drinking his blood. Except you do it, he said, you have no part with me. Jesus taught on love. Jesus taught on humility when he bent down and washed and became the lowest of servants to wash his disciples' feet. That duty was for the lowest of servants. Jesus did it. He taught on these things. And he said we ought to do it to one another. Something so important. Wouldn't Jesus have spoken about it? Jesus talked on marriage. He talked on the subject of divorce. Just name it. Jesus talked about them. This that is so important and part of the commandments of God. When we keep the commandments of God, do you know who we honor? We honor God when we keep the Sabbath. We have to honor God. We should only worship God. If we find, and if in your study, if anyone find a day that is holy and set apart as the Sabbath, give me a ring. Call us up. Show it to us. We'll study it out. But I present some evidence to you to show that the Sabbath is still alive. The Sabbath was created and sanctified by our God. Any other day sanctified and blessed and made holy was done by man. God's words will stand forever. We read in Revelation 14:12, The patience of the saints are they that keep the commandments of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. You cannot eliminate part of the commandments of God. You can't. You cannot say the patience of the saints keep the commandments of God, but yet not keep the Sabbath. Because the commandments of God involves the whole command. To love God with all your heart and soul and neighbor as yourself. That's the command. The other points that we see, do not kill, do not commit adultery, do not lust, and all those things, these are in connection to loving your neighbors as yourself. It's not different. It is broken down. So when we keep the commandments of God, we honor God. When we keep another day as a sanctified day and disregard the Sabbath, it is very sad to say, but I have to reveal, it is honoring man. Let us continue to worship God. Let us seek God and worship Him the way He would have us worship Him. God bless you.